You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next, the April 5th, 2022 meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
And then our attorney is on here to weigh in, so
He is on his way.
he can join us when he gets here, okay? So it is 4:30, and Pat, would you kindly call the roll, please?
Yes, I will. Just remind everybody, please speak up and raise your hand. Albertine Allen, here. Sojourner Atwater, here. Dennis Carroll,
Here.
and Marty Corley. Bonnie Dimke, here. Diana Gore. Melody Haynes,
Here.
Judy Lane, here. Nancy Moldenauer,
Here.
Mary Ellen Quinn, here. And Tyra Robinson Walker.
She called in, she's stuck at the university, so I would like to consider her excused if we may.
And we do have a quorum.
Thank you so very much, and thank you everybody for being here, because last month we didn't have a quorum, so we have some extra voting to do today. But I do appreciate everybody checking in, you know you're not going to be able to be here. Greatly appreciate it, so thank you. Okay, we have approval of the minutes. We have 2 minutes to approve. The one would be the February 1st minutes, and the other would be the March 1st minutes also. So let's do those separately. Would somebody make a motion to approve the February 1st minutes, please?
I make a motion.
Judy, thank you. Who will second that?
Second.
Pastor Carroll, thank you. All in favor, say aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
Okay. And then for the March 1st minutes, would somebody make a motion to approve those, please? Judy, thank you. And who will second that? Melody, thank you for seconding that. Everybody, those who approve, say aye and raise your right hand, please.
Aye.
Okay, any disapproval with that? Okay, thank you very much. We're now legitimate again, so thank you. Okay, finance report, Bonnie?
Yes. And you have this in your folder here. The February ending balance was $2,080.83. We had a receipt of a donation for Disability Awareness Month of $1,000, which brings us to $3,080.83 for the March ending balance.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Could I just thank whoever that donation was?
Yes, it was from Harbor Trust.
Okay, very nice. That's
Stephanie Overly, and it's to be used for disability awareness. And we already thanked the, should I continue or?
That's okay.
We also got a donation of pizzas from Domino Pizzas. So I bought cupcakes and paper products and had pizzas delivered to the March Special Education Staff Meeting as a thank you from the Human Rights Commission and from Harbor Trust and Domino's. And then the rest of the disability money will be spent on another item that the Special Ed Department has requested.
wonderful.
Bonnie, thank you so very much. And I must say, our treasury is looking much more healthy since you took over, so thank you very much.
Not that you had a choice.
Okay, executive director's report.
Okay, I have a couple of things. First of all, we received a thank you card from Stacey Attar, the director of special services of special education for Michigan City area schools, and she thanked us for recognizing the work of the special education department during Disability Awareness Month. She said our thoughtfulness is much appreciated, so she sent us this nice card that was really nice. And then we also received another thank you card, and this was from Janine Peel. And Miss Peel has been a supporter of our Black History Month contest I can say for over 10 plus years, she's always made sure that her students participated, they always turned in a lot of nice things. But this year, she thanked us. She thanked us for the yearly opportunity to allow our students to use the creative expression to enter your contest. I greatly appreciate your support of the educational process for allowing our students to participate. So I thought this was just so gracious, and I want to thank Ms. P.O. because she's always been so supportive of the Human Rights Commission and all of our programs. So we received this from her. Thank you. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that I went through all of the Celebrating Naomi Anderson submissions, and we received a total of 171 pieces, and that's a combination of art pieces and writings and poetry. Unfortunately, our high school entries were very low. I mean, they were 0. So we didn't receive anything from the high school, so, but everything was mostly from the elementary and middle school. So I know that you had talked about it before, and you may want to revisit the issue of whether or not you wanted to continue to encourage the high school students to participate. You might want to start just concentrating on elementary, since they tend to be the majority of the entries that we receive.
Right, and I think that's a good thought to have, especially since we already have the scholarships for the high school students.
Yeah.
And I think with high school students being so busy with their studies, and then in addition to that, their extracurricular activities, and now they're being encouraged to do community volunteer work, they really have a lot on their plate already. So it really does make sense to me. Last year we received maybe a couple entries, this year 0. We made it very appealing for them. We were asking them to do a very short video, like a TikTok. I even called some of the students that I knew at the high school, and they said, yeah, well, we'll submit something, and then nobody did. So I think that probably our time and efforts would be better spent on the elementary and middle school students who are fully participating, actually. So did anybody want to comment on that at this time? I want to give you an opportunity to, to have input on that.
I think it's very wise. Everything that you said certainly makes sense. We do have that group of students covered by the scholarship. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't want to get to this point again next year and then have to reopen the conversation. I don't think it's something we have to vote on, but we just need to, come to consensus on it. Okay, great. Then it sounds like we'll concentrate on the elementary school students and the high school students for the Black History Month contest next year, 2023. Okay, great. Tanisha, did you have anything else for us?
Yes, just one update on our probable cause committee. We did have a probable cause committee meeting last month, about 2 weeks ago, and there was no decision. The probable cause committee requested that I go back to the respondent and request additional information. So that information should be due sometime next week. So once I get that information, then I'll resubmit it to the probable cause committee, and then they'll meet again to make a decision on the charge.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so very much for bringing us up to date on everything. And I just want to acknowledge Tanisha for the most excellent job that she does for us on keeping many balls in the air at the same time and not dropping a single one of those. So Tanisha, thank you. Staff attorney report?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Did we need a vote on the finance report?
Oh, yeah, I skip that every single time. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Bunny, you need to help me with that. Okay, we're going back to the financial report. Would somebody make a motion to approve that, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Marty. Who'll second
I'll second
that?
that.
Okay, Mary Ellen, thank you for seconding that. If you're in favor, say aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
Okay, anybody disagree with that? Okay, it's passed. Thank you very much, Pat. Okay, staff attorney report, Larry, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. I'll reserve some comments that I'll have later on when we get to the new business.
Sounds good. Committee reports, executive committee, we did not meet. I want to thank Tanisha for trying to get us together. Celebrating Naomi Anderson was still in full bloom for me last month, so it just didn't happen. Special events committee,
No special events.
okay. Scholarship committee,
We did have a meeting, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And committee members, please refresh me if I make a mistake somewhere. But the application process has started. We got it out by the 21st of March, I believe, and our deadline is the 29th of April at 4 p.m. From there, we will have 3 judges that will judge, do the judging from May 2nd through the 6th. Hopefully have the winners announced around the 11th, and have the scholarship to the recipient by June 3rd at one of our Human Rights Commission meeting. And those who are there, am I on key still, or did I miss something? Yeah, okay, I think that's it. And so if there's any questions, we will have the Judy Hubert scholarship, and then the Hawkins Williams scholarship will be given out, it'll be $1,000 apiece.
and I'm glad to see we have enough money to cover.
Yes.
So that's good. Okay, thanks. Thank you so much, Marty. And anything we can do as commissioners to get the information out to high school seniors that they're eligible to apply. And it's my understanding we don't discriminate between regular college and community college and the trades. So that means anybody and everybody would be able to apply for this scholarship. It applied, homeschoolers fine, private schools fine, public schools fine. And the only restriction is they must live within the Michigan City area schools boundary.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
They must live within the district?
They must live within the district.
Okay, does that mean they have to attend one of those schools?
No, just you have to live.
Okay,
you have to
because
live in the attend school.
There was a question that came up
No,
in
you
the
have to live
Salvation Army.
you have to live and attend the school in the boundaries.
Oh, and attend the school?
Yeah,
Okay, then fine, I thought so, but I thought as long as you were talking about that, I would let them know. Thanks.
Okay, great. So, that includes Marquette High School and Michigan City High School. And don't forget, there are children there are students who homeschool, and they would be eligible also. Okay, great. Let me see, fundraising committee, Judy?
Fundraising?
Yeah.
Well, we had to give back last Thursday, and I'm not sure how much we made yet, but we'll find out. See, you'll get in touch with us, or you.
I have a question.
Okay.
Jenny, when I came in there, both Sia and our wait person asked to have a coupon.
I know, and I told them that, Sia told me, she said, we don't need the coupon.
I just want to make sure that they really did track.
Yeah,
I mean, I know she's very generous. but I want to make sure that,
yeah, because I'm always very clear on that with her. And the last time we didn't have to have a coupon either, so, no.
Was you just had to tell your wait person.
Yeah.
And our wait person, wrote it right down.
and she would know it was for the whole table, right? at the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, anything else? Okay. I think we're still waiting on leads.
I emailed her name is Abby Smith. She's the representative that I've been corresponding with about the leads get back. I emailed her and I'm waiting on a response. So I just did it maybe earlier today. So I just asked her, does she need anything else from us? And if, so let me know just to see where she is on the on setting up the, I think it's beverage of the month. So
They usually ask for like a little summary of our commission.
I gave her all that.
Okay.
They created a little logo and everything. So, yeah.
Good, great. Okay, Sam, commission update?
Yes, this will be very short. We had updated our bylaws. Once again, I'll run through the president, Carrie Hogan, Vice President Kitty Fly, and Pastor Kimberly Williams, Secretary. So we're happy to have them on. We were going to send an updated bylaws to the City Council for some kind of direction of where we need to go. is what my understanding is right now. So, that is basically all I have.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Carroll. We do not have an education committee. Governance committee, nothing for that. Martin Luther King committee, Sarah's not here. LGBTQ committee, Aaron resigned. I do know that Pride has been scheduled, and hopefully everybody will get that on their calendar. That's June 18th. Saturday, June 18th is Pride, and it looks like it's from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that will be held in Washington Park at the Fedder's Alley. Thank you. Okay. And then Tenant Rights Committee? No, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're on to old business now, and I guess the old business would be celebrating Naomi Anderson sculpture, the unveiling ceremony, and the acknowledgement reception. And I just want to, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart that the Human Rights Commission came on as a sponsor for that project. So thank you, and I saw many of your friendly faces standing in the chilly, rainy weather out there. So thank you so very much for coming and being a presence there and supporting it. And we've received nothing but extremely positive feedback regarding all the events that happen, and also the sculpture. People in our community really seem to love it, and they're embracing it as their own. So that's what we were hoping for. And I've heard so many conversations that have been started too, about race, our city, people that live here. So I think it's one of those things that's going to be an ongoing conversation for all of us here. So just really heartfelt thanks, everybody. All right. Okay, new business, executive committee member selection. We have an empty spot since Aaron resigned. So we're open for nominations to fill the executive committee. Any nominations? I would like to nominate Judy Lang, if I may, since she's been doing fundraising activities for us. It sort of makes sense since that's the committee that talks about finances. But I wanted to open the floor to see if anybody else would like to nominate anybody to serve on the executive committee.
I'd like to nominate Judy also, so I think she'd be a good fit.
That's a second then. Okay, so we probably need to take a roll call vote for that. So Pat, if you'd read it, please.
So that was actually a motion and a second, because we're supposed to state the motion exactly.
Oh, okay, let me do it again. I nominate Judy Lang to become a member of the executive committee.
And I second Judy Lang to be on the executive committee.
Is that right?
Albertine Allen,
Yes.
Aye or nay?
Aye.
Thank you.
Sojourner Atwater,
Speak up. Aye.
Dennis Carroll,
Aye.
Marty Corley,
Aye.
Bonnie Demke,
Aye.
Diana Gore, Melody Haynes,
Aye.
Judy Lang,
Aye.
Mary Ellen Quick.
Aye.
We have a unanimous vote. Yes.
Yay.
Congratulations. Did I miss somebody?
Nancy.
Nancy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy Bold.
Aye.
No, you have unanimous.
Yeah.
Okay. We have down here need an alternative meeting day for May. Is that falling on the,
That's the primary. That's election day, primary.
okay. So then, what we've usually done is go on to the Wednesday or the week after, usually.
Whichever you would prefer.
So if people would like to look at their May calendars and see if May 4th or May 10th would work better for you.
No preference here.
No preference?
No problems with the rules, you think?
No one shouldn't know.
Let's just do the week after, because I realized I actually have a Save the Dunes board meeting on the 4th, so I would not be able to be here. Yeah,
So that'll be May the 10th?
May the 10th, so it'll be 1 week later on a Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday, May 10th. So it's just 1 week later than we usually would. We usually meet the first Tuesdays of the month. So this meeting will fall on the second Tuesday of the month, and it'll be for this month only. Okay, thank you for noticing that. Okay, and then judging for the Celebrating Naomi Anderson Black History Month contest.
We need judges.
We need judges.
Yes.
It's usually the education committee that does that, and we do not have an education committee. So who'd be interested in looking at all of the submissions we have? And, thank you, Journa. I better volunteer for that committee. Since I was the one that got us into this. Anybody else? I think it's gonna be fun because we'll get to look at the kids' entries, you know.
And it's only 171 pieces. Believe me, I've seen a whole lot more. We've had up to 500. So 171 is kind of.
Melody, will you join us? Melody will join us. And then I had a request from a couple people in the community, not to be judges per se, but they have a sincere interest in this. One is Cheryl Chapman, and she was the one that wrote the short stories, Pivot and Turnaround, that went out with the contest. So I think it would be nice to include her. And then Jerry Jones, who serves on the Celebrating Naomi Anderson committee as the treasurer, she had also said that she would like to be able to see the entries.
Okay.
So I think it would be nice to invite them. And if you want them to vote, fine. And if you don't, then I don't think they're vested in doing that.
Okay.
Okay, does that sound good?
Probably. What's happening?
Okay. So then why don't we set out a doodle poll and see what we can get everybody there, okay?
Okay.
And if you need assistance with that, I can help with that. My life is Zoom and Doodle. Okay, next item, new executive director search. Tanisha, do you want to say something?
Sure. I have been offered an opportunity to transfer over to the department of our personnel department, our current personnel department. Our current HR executive is leaving for another position outside of the city. So I was offered the opportunity to switch over to the personnel department to replace her, and I accepted. I spoke with the majority of you. I tried to call you because I didn't want you to be blindsided by this announcement on TV, so I tried to call and reach out to mostly everybody. I think I missed a couple of people, but I just wanted to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here. Actually, I kind of love this department. This is like my home, but I just thought that maybe I should move over to another department to try to grow my skill set and to expand my knowledge as far as human resources goes. I came from a human resources department, so I just see that as being, a way to continue to expand my skill set. So.
And I just really want to thank you so very much on having you, appointed by Mayor Perry to come to us. It was a breath of fresh air, and also you've just been outstanding in your support of us and the mission and the commitment that we have here on the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. So we're going to miss you sorely, but congratulations on the promotion. And it couldn't happen to a more dedicated nor more loyal person. So
Thank you.
thank you.
I would just like to say that I had the pleasure of being with Tatanisha long before, this time. And when she left, we were all very disappointed, weren't we?
Yes.
And then when you came back, I assured everybody that this is going to be smooth sailing, and it is. And from my opinion, I adore you. I am so proud of you, and thank you for everything. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to
Well done.
Tanisha.
Yeah.
I'm resigning as well.
You can't do that, buddy.
No dominoes, no
I was gonna take that.
No dominoes effect here. Everybody stand, okay? So anyhow, so we're faced with actually, finding a new executive director. And I'm not sure how we exactly want to go about this. I know that in our ordinance, it says that we are to be an integral part of that. And when I looked back over our past history of our commission choosing somebody, we have not done very well at all, okay? So I'm just going to put it out there, okay? In one instance, we put in a lot of time interviewing people and had recommended somebody, and then they were not chosen to fill the position, okay? So that was one thing that happened. And then another time, we chose somebody we thought was going to be really good for us, and honestly, it did not work out. Okay, so, I'm just looking at that, and also considering the fact that our former executive director actually is moving into the position that could be responsible for, looking for, interviewing, and, recommending somebody. So I don't know how we want to do this,
So Nancy, if you take a recommendation,
Sure, yeah.
We were here when we had to really initially do it with Tatanisha left, and so from knowing the process is really, you might want to have a talk with the mayor and see what his direction is, because at the end of the day, we can want to select whoever we want. If the mayor does not write off on it, that person.
We wasted our time.
So maybe if it's a conversation you want to have with him, and then from there, maybe the executive committee might want to set up some interviews, and then if commissioners want to sit in on those, I don't think the whole commission should be involved in that process, but maybe the executive committee should.
It's been the executive committee.
That's what we did in the past too, the last couple of times when we've done it. So
Okay.
I think that'll help out, and then like the commission can be involved or be invited to sit in on, but I think the executive committee should probably roll it. But I would, if I was you, I would have a talk with the mayor and see what the direction is looking, or have an understanding with him, because again, one time we did run into it, we selected somebody else and the mayor did not want that person, so we did not.
Okay, I like that approach, actually talk to the mayor first, so I'm willing to do that. I guess I'm the person that should be doing that as chair, okay, to get a feel for what he's thinking, and then, like I said, we could leave it totally, to the personnel department and the mayor, since that body ultimately will make the final decision anyhow. Or we could do a hybrid type thing, if you want to be involved in some of the interviews, that could be a possibility also. When I've done this in the past, usually what I've done is I've allowed the personnel department to go through the applications and the resumes, so that only the ones are being handed on to the executive committee that look promising. Because otherwise, you have a really big job, sometimes looking through hundreds of, resumes and applications. So I think safely at this time that we can say, Tatanisha, and I'm addressing you as the new director of the personnel department. We probably need to get the position posted if it hasn't been already.
Barney had a question.
And then to, all of us have a responsibility of thinking about people that, from our community that we think would be good in this position, and contacting them and actually encouraging them to apply also. So we do have skin in this game, and I do want to see us doing our absolute best to find somebody that's going to be up to the high standards that Tanisha has set.
Wow.
Okay, Larry.
Yeah, I've got some comments. First I want to make some personal comments, and then I'll make some comments on the procedure that we should follow. First of all, congratulations, Tanisha. I mean, I was very, very sad to hear the news of your leaving. I think I may have mentioned to you before that if you left, I was leaving too. Marty's trying to jump into it and take that away from me. But the only thing that's, dissuading me from that is she tells me that she will be in the building and she will be available to help if we need it. I really thoroughly enjoyed both my tenures with you. This is the second time around for you. You were the director in the past, and the only thing I can think of is that, if Tom Brady can keep resigning and coming back, maybe Tanisha can down the line resign and come back again. So it's, I wish her well, and I think she's making a good decision for herself, but we will really miss her. It's just been a pleasure to work with her. It's so much easier if you have an executive director who, performs their job up to the highest standards, and it's really been a pleasure. You will be missed. I do want to tell you about the procedure, and there is a clause in the ordinance that says, and I will read it to you, the director shall be appointed by the commission with the approval and consent of the mayor. So this is the ordinance, so it's not up to interpretation on us. We have to appoint the director, and the mayor gets to consent and approve. Everything that was said previously by Marty and Nancy is correct. We have had a mayor in the past, not the current mayor, but we had a mayor in the past that said, you're going to select this person, otherwise you're going to select nobody, or I'm not going to fund the position. So we really had little choice. Again, that was a previous mayor, that was not the current mayor. So some of the selections were not our fault. If Nancy commented that some were not 100% up to where we would like them to be, they were really not our fault. But that's the ordinance, so we have to stick by the ordinance. So we will be making a selection as a commission, and then we'll be sending it on to the mayor. I do agree with the comments to run this by the mayor first, because it just would save a lot of time and effort. In the past, we've interviewed many candidates. We've had multiple days of interviews, and why bother to do that if we can shorten the procedure? But what we will do is we will run the notice and we will select resumes, and then someone needs to take a look at those resumes and decide whether, in conjunction with the mayor, whether we wish to have interviews or how we wish to proceed. In the past, there have been, we've weeded out the resumes, and then we've selected certain numbers that we wanted to sit down and interview. And the interviewing is done by the executive committee. It could be done, anybody can show up if they so desire, but it would be done by the executive committee with myself present. And again, we don't have to do interviews, we don't have to go that procedure, but we do ultimately need to hire a director, and we will sometime in the future be having one of our board meetings where we will vote to approve or not to approve a new executive director, and then it will go to the mayor's office for the mayor to approve or not approve. And hopefully he will approve, because we will already have included him in the process. So hopefully we'll get some good applicants, and it'll be a smooth procedure, but it's going to require everyone here to, perform a little bit more work. And hopefully we'll get somebody who will be able to come close to what Tanisha has done for us. So unless you have any questions, that's really all I have on the procedure. We'll see when we get the resumes in. I mean, I hear that it's tough for anybody to hire anybody nowadays. I don't really know why, but that seems to be the situation. And so if anybody has any comments or suggestions, contact Nancy when she's going to sit down with the mayor, and we can see what we can do. Any questions?
Just a general one. If one of us has someone they think might be suitable and interested in the job, can they informally talk to, would it be Nancy or Tatanisha they would talk to, or would that not be appropriate?
I would speak to the chair of the executive committee, which would be Nancy. The only thing we're gonna have to worry about is, again, if you,
I would prefer following procedure, send in the cover letter, the resume to Human Resources, okay?
Okay.
And then we would, go through the process that
Can't
everybody
happen
else
until it's
does.
posted, right? It has to be
Right.
posted.
the only thing I was gonna continue to say was that we're fine with getting recommendations, but if you're gonna have somebody that's going to be very close to you, then obviously there'd be a conflict of interest.
I don't know
You would not,
anything. I just-
you would not be able to vote on that person either in the committee or for the full commission. So we've got to make sure that we keep this all above board. So I have no problem with getting suggestions, or you can go out in the community and give suggestions to people. You think you know somebody and tell them to go ahead and send in their resume once the notice runs. But make sure that if they're, if it's a husband, wife, kid, neighbor, cousin, then you gotta make it known and recuse yourself and then you put your vote.
Tanisha, I would like to be sure to get cover letters and resumes, please.
And when will you start posting?
Our personnel director is currently out of the office, so it will probably be Monday is the soonest.
Thank you. I'm glad people are asking questions because that means you're already starting to think about it. So that's great. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then request for sponsorship for Michigan City Pride Fest 2022. Tatanisha, we got a letter from Corey Leonard.
Corey Solar.
I'm sorry, Corey Solar.
Yes.
He goes by something else on social media. Oops.
Yeah, and they are requesting that, we've supported them in the past. And so I guess they're just asking for, they didn't give us a specific number, they just asked for a donation for the upcoming event, which is celebrating the Michigan City Pride Fest on June 18th. So I received the letter and I printed a copy out for the treasurer, and I'll give this to Bunny and then of course for yourself. And if I'm not mistaken, the procedure is that it is reviewed by the finance committee. Yeah, with the recommendation to come back to the commission by the next meeting.
I would comment Corey was an ex-commissioner of ours, quite a few years ago, but he was a commissioner, he was a very good commissioner.
Yeah, in fact, I think I took his place eventually.
Yeah.
As a representative of the LGBTQ community.
And I don't know what we've given in the past, but I think it may have been approximately about $200, $250.
I think it was $250 if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that was one of the levels on their sponsorship form.
Yeah.
Because he did send that all, so I think I forwarded that on to you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was $250 last, 2 years ago it would have been because I didn't forward it.
We are limited to $200.
We are?
Under
Oh, okay.
bylaws.
Huh.
And then also please keep in mind that according to the current treasurer's report, we have the $2,000 that are specifically designated for the scholarships. And we did get an additional $1,000, but that is specifically for any type of disability awareness initiatives. Now, we are expecting the total from the latest give back, so I think that this particular sponsorship will probably be limited by how much we collected at the give back last week. Yeah, because according to, we did get that $1,000, but that is specifically for disability awareness initiatives.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I could just interrupt one more time, just again as a reminder to all of you that in 2014, the city passed an ordinance that authorized our collection of funds, and it has to be for one of the specific purposes that is listed. And usually the purpose that we go with is education of the public, including promotional, educational, training supplies, and community events. There are several others that I can go through, but you guys all have this. But as long as it meets one of those criteria, then we can go ahead and authorize the expenditure.
I'd say nicely falls under both the community outreach education and the community internet.
I would think so. In the past, they would have me, I had to authorize every one of the expenditures and say that I feel it meets it. I feel that this would meet that section 2.
Okay, thank you, Larry, for reminding us of that. Okay, we're down to, did anybody, public, okay. That keeps disappearing. We should have commission comments on there. Above the public comment. So if we could get that back on there, that would be great. Okay, so I'd like to ask if any of the commissioners have a comment or any information they'd like to share at this time.
I have something I would like to share with the commission. This is regarding the flyer I passed out to commissioners prior to the meeting. Port County Government Job Fair that is going to take place April 18th and April 19th. There will be many different departments that are looking to fill open positions. Community Corrections, for which I'm the assistant director, is one of them, and we have multiple positions open within our organization. We have residential officers, we have full and part-time positions, we have field officers position open, those are also full-time, and we have a full-time collection officer position that is open. The job fair on the 18th will be from 1 to 3 p.m., and on the 19th, it will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So just come prepared with your resumes and be ready to be interviewed on the spot. And if there are any questions, if somebody sees this and they don't want to wait until the 18th, they can also apply at the website listed below.
Is this on our social media?
No, I just got it today.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to share it before, but the attachment I got wasn't JPEG, so I had a hard time messing with it, but I'll be able to put this up.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated. Okay, any other commissioners have a comment or anything they'd like to share? Okay, then we're moving down to public comments. Anybody like to make public comment?
Hi,
Mrs. W.
Faye Moore, 515 Gray Street, Michigan City, Indiana. First, I'm sad to see that Tanisha's leaving Human Rights, but I'm happy that she's going to Human Resources. And I've worked with Tanisha before on the commission, Human Rights Commission. I'm really glad for you, Tanisha. Congratulations. I aim to find out if the Human Rights Department is going to resume doing the annual banquet.
Well, I can speak to that since it's special events. We've been unable to do anything for, is it 2 years? Yeah. So as soon as everyone feels comfortable, I say, let's go, things are opening up. It's not my decision. But I'm with you. I'm very anxious to resume that. It's our largest fundraiser and obviously celebrates the scholarship winners, and it was our big deal.
Okay, would you like to place that on the agenda for next time?
I'll be happy to, sure, and poll people, but I mean, as long as, if we're given the okay, we can go ahead, And obviously, it's not going to be this spring because spring is here, so, I mean, let's make definite plans that we will get, reserve the venue for next year.
Yeah, we have to decide whether we want to have a lunch or a dinner.
Right.
In the past, we've done both ways, expenditures, how much we want to expend, and then, of course, there's COVID. It does seem to be getting better, but now they're letting in, well, it's starting back up again with the new strain.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean,
Right.
I'm not worried about, we can get the senior center if we need a venue that big. I don't think so, but you can't go and get a venue, a local businessman, and put it on the calendar, and then without giving some kind of a down payment, that, we don't have a lot of money that we can risk losing, so it's a difficult Yeah.
Yeah. We've also entertained the thought of having a fundraiser light, more like, we had a couple things at the, it's just flying by my mind here now, more like a libations and hors d'oeuvre, type thing,
We got a wine tasting.
and that way, you're not putting out so much for food and things like that,
That's,
so.
we can do anything we want to
We can do anything we want to,
Right,
so that's
right.
why I'm sort of opening it up
Okay.
for us
I
to,
think that's,
consider any and all
Sure.
options at this point, that we're not tied to having,
right.
to have a dinner or have to have a luncheon.
Okay.
I think if we have a nice event, I think that's what's important. Okay, great. Okay, so then we'll plan on 2023, spring of 2023. Okay, and then, any other comments from the public? Yes, ma'am.
Tanisha, what is your exit date? The
I
last-
believe my last day will be April 15th, but I'm not exactly sure because I just don't want to leave everything just open. So I think what'll probably happen is I'll probably end up running 2 offices for at least a week or 2 to continue and help things out. I just don't want to just say, okay, I'm done with this and then move on. So I'll probably be back and forth until you guys get a directive. Yeah. And then I'm more than willing to train the person because it's a different kind of job to learn. It's not like going into a machinist position where they show you how to work the machine then they leave you alone. So I'll probably be back and forth for quite some time.
Thank you, and thanks for your generosity.
And then one other thing, I just wanted to follow up on my comment from last month's meeting about our corporate luncheon. It has been finalized. We still have one piece to fill, but it will be on Friday, May 20th, 2022. Starting at 11:30, the doors will open at 11. It's from 11:30 to 1 at the Blue Chip Casino. We have identified our 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award winner as Dr. Barbara Easton Watkins.
Wonderful.
And then our iRise Award recipient will be Mr. William Walker, who was track star, big athlete here in Michigan City. Went off to college, he's back now, he's working still there, but he's doing a lot of giving back to the community, to our young men. So we want to recognize him for doing a good job with his life.
That's May 20th?
May 20th.
Okay. And then Blue Chip?
Blue Chip, okay.
And what was
The
the,
flyers are not quite ready, because there's one piece we need to put on there, we're waiting
what
at
was the time on that?
11:30.
Then this is the Black Expo,
Indiana Black Expo, Michigan City chapter.
Indiana Black Expo, Michigan City chapter. Okay, thank you.
And we have a really great Community Spirit Award winner. You don't want to miss this.
Is it a surprise?
It's
Okay.
always a surprise.
Wonderful.
I hope they plan on coming this year.
Oh, they're going to be there.
Okay,
They don't know why they're going to be there, but they're going to be there.
Okay, awesome.
That's so fun.
Okay, any other comments or announcements from the public? Okay, then we are at 5:19. And I guess I can just call to adjourn the meeting. You don't need a motion on that. Is that true? Lawyer? It's true. Okay. Then I declare the meeting adjourned at 5:19.
Okay.